Section 28. Cure notices, extensions, cancellation, and when the deal starts falling apart. The extension request arrives. Daniel is sitting with Marcus and Elena when Ashley calls. David needs another 10 days. One of the remaining issues connected with his distress loan has taken longer than expected, and Ashley believes the transaction may still work if everyone has additional time. Marcus immediately says, "Absolutely not. We agreed to October 23rd. If he can't close, we're done." Elena is less certain. "We've already paid for the inspection and appraisal. If 10 more days gets us the house, maybe we should wait." Daniel now has two buyers with different emotional reactions. A seller asking for more time, and a foreclosure deadline still sitting in the background. Welcome to contract management. A request is not a contract change. Ashley can ask for an extension. David can explain why he needs it. Daniel can present the request to Marcus and Elena. But David cannot simply announce that close of escrow has moved 10 days. Neither can Ashley. A contract modification requires the appropriate agreement of the parties. This is something Arizona Realtors continues to emphasize in its contract guidance. Parties cannot simply unilaterally alter agreed contractual terms. Daniel explains the options to his buyers without making the decision for them. Marcus and Elena can consider the additional time, the continuing foreclosure risk, their financing, their own housing needs, and any other relevant circumstances. If they agree to an extension, document it properly. Don't rely on, "Marcus said it was fine on the phone. Everybody knows we're closing next week. The lender told us it should be okay." Real estate contracts deserve real documentation. What if the seller doesn't perform? Marcus asks the next logical question: what if we don't extend and David misses the deadline? This is where agents need to understand the cure process instead of saying, "then the contract automatically dies." Under the Arizona Realtors Residential Resale Real Estate Purchase Contract, a party's failure to perform an obligation can create a potential breach. The contract's cure provisions generally require delivery of a cure notice and provide the potentially breaching party 3 days after delivery to cure the potential breach before it becomes a breach. Arizona Realtors guidance confirms that a missed closing date by itself does not automatically cancel the standard contract. That distinction matters. Potential breach, cure notice, cure period, breach, possible contractual remedies, those are separate steps. The cure notice is not a magic cancellation form. Imagine Marcus tells Daniel, "Send the cure notice right now and cancel this thing." Daniel needs to slow down and review the contract. A cure period notice gives the potentially breaching party the contractual opportunity to cure. It does not automatically terminate the transaction the moment it is delivered. Suppose David receives a proper cure notice and then performs within the cure period. The situation may be cured according to the contract. Suppose he doesn't perform. Even then, don't assume the contract disappears automatically. Arizona Realtors has specifically explained that after the 3-day cure period expires, the non-breaching party must affirmatively take the appropriate contractual action to cancel if cancellation is the remedy being pursued. Here's where many agents get into trouble. They start treating the cure notice like an eviction notice for a real estate contract. It isn't. Timing and delivery matter. Daniel asks Michael to review the situation before sending anything. Good decision. Cure notices involve timing and proper delivery under the contract. Arizona Realtors even maintains specific educational materials addressing what is curable and the basics of using the cure period notice. An agent should not invent a notice through a casual text saying, "You have 3 days or we're canceling." Use the proper current form when applicable. Follow the contract's notice requirements. Document delivery. This may seem procedural, but contract rights can turn on procedure. The foreclosure clock never left the room. Ashley then reminds everyone of something important. David's trustee's sale was postponed, but the underlying foreclosure problem has not necessarily disappeared. Suppose Marcus and Elena agree to extend close of escrow 10 days, but the new closing date falls after the newly scheduled trustee sale date. What did the extension accomplish? Potentially nothing. This is why Michael keeps telling Ashley to manage both clocks. Before recommending that David rely on additional time, Ashley needs reliable information about the foreclosure timeline. If David is pursuing reinstatement, ARS Section 33-813 contains specific requirements and deadlines. If legal questions arise concerning whether the sale can proceed, David needs legal counsel. A contract extension cannot override foreclosure law. Marcus and Elena make their decision. After reviewing the risks, Marcus and Elena agree to a shorter extension, but only after Daniel explains the known circumstances and the parties properly document the change. Ashley updates her transaction calendar. Daniel updates his. Michael tells both agents to continue monitoring the situation. No one says, "We're definitely closing." No one says, "The foreclosure is handled." They stick to what they actually know. That is professional transaction management. As the transaction approaches its new closing date, Michael calls Ashley and Daniel into his office. He places the file on the conference table. This deal has had a short sale issue, a scheduled trustee sale, lien problems, extensions, lender conditions, disclosures, and potential cure issues. If ADRE opened this file tomorrow, could someone who wasn't here understand exactly what happened? Ashley looks at the stack of emails, notices, addenda, lender communications, and transaction notes. That question changes the conversation, because protecting a transaction is not only about getting it closed, it is also about being able to show what you knew, what you disclosed, what you communicated, and what you did. That's where we'll finish Chapter 6 in Section 24. Document the file, protect the client, and protect your license. Online discussion 1. David asks for a 10-day extension of close of escrow. Does his financial hardship automatically give him the additional time? No. David may request an extension, but he cannot unilaterally change the agreed close of escrow date. Marcus and Elena must agree to any contractual modification that requires their consent, and an agreed change should be properly documented. 2. Marcus tells Daniel to send a cure period notice because he wants the contract immediately canceled. What should Daniel explain? Answer. Daniel should explain that the cure period notice is part of the contract's cure procedure and is not itself an automatic cancellation. Under Arizona Realtors guidance on the standard resale contract, the potentially breaching party generally receives 3 days after delivery to cure, and cancellation after an uncured breach requires the appropriate contractual action. 3. Why should Ashley continue monitoring the trustee's sale date, even if Marcus and Elena agree to extend close of escrow? Extending the purchase contract does not automatically postpone or cancel the foreclosure process. Ashley must continue monitoring the foreclosure timeline because the newly extended closing date could conflict with a scheduled trustee sale. The two timelines must be managed separately.